Question number 10. A solutions architect needs to design a system that can handle sudden, unpredictable spikes in web traffic. Which AWS service combination is the best for this requirement? Our options: Amazon EC2 with elastic load balancing, Amazon RDS with read replicas, Amazon S3 with AWS CloudFront, and autoscaling with elastic load balancing. At first glance, option A sounds plausible. Amazon EC2 can build virtual machines that could be my web servers. And elastic load balancing is a capability that allows for multiple virtual machines to work together as a unit, so that demand in web traffic is spread amongst multiple computers. But although load balancing is a valuable capability, it doesn't help us adjust to unpredictable spikes in web traffic. If I get a lot more demand for web servers, I'm going to need more web servers. So I need some way to be able to bring those online. Will RDS with read replicas support that? Read replicas are a way to expand an RDS architecture that already has at least a primary database server. It might have a standby server. Read replicas allow me to deploy a collection of other database servers that only handle read requests, leaving the primary to handle the combination of read and write traffic that only the primary can do. And the standby replicates synchronously from the primary so that it can take over and become the primary in the event of a failure of the primary. Read replicas are very helpful in RDS, but they are not going to be helpful to our attempt to handle sudden spikes in web traffic. So it looks like options A and B are not quite what we're looking for. How about Amazon S3 with CloudFront? Can S3 support web traffic? Sort of. S3 does provide support for a static website capability, which is to say that I can put the files that make up a website into an S3 bucket, mark it for web server capability, and I can serve up static web content from that location. But S3 doesn't handle dynamic websites. I would need some other sort of compute resource to handle that. Maybe that's a web server running on EC2, maybe it's a Lambda function, maybe it's some other capability. How about CloudFront? CloudFront supports a cluster of hundreds of devices out there in the wide world called point of presence servers, or POPs for short. A point of presence is a caching location in AWS CloudFront. It's able to hold a copy of data that was recently requested from a client that's nearby that location. If data is cached at one point of presence, the next time someone else asks that same point of presence for that particular file, it serves it up from the local cache instead of the point of presence needing to reach all the way back to the origin of that file, which might be in a different region of the world, and retrieve a copy. So that is a very handy capability, and it might help absorb demand on a static website, but we weren't told that it's a static web application. We still need compute somewhere. So although the S3 idea is tempting, I think that leaves us with our fourth and final option, autoscaling with elastic load balancing. Load balancing, we already said, will allow us to distribute traffic across multiple instances. Autoscaling enables the ability to automatically provision more instances when we need them. And that's what we need to be able to handle sudden, unpredictable spikes in web traffic. So our answer, autoscaling with elastic load balancing.